I have here pulled up ESPN's bracket challenge. I think it's pretty easy to create a bracket, right? I should be able to just go here and start making picks. Now, I am curious, by the way, for you guys watching, who you guys think are going to win each of these games. What you guys think I get right? What you guys think I get wrong? When I finish making this, I'm probably going to drop this into my Discord server, into the sports channel, probably either sports or random. And I'd like to see you guys also make brackets, and then I'd love to compare, who was the most correct at the end of the playoffs. But anyways, we've got this empty bracket here. I'm going to pick Oregon over James Madison. I just don't think that James Madison's going to beat Oregon. In Alabama versus Oklahoma, very easy pick for me. Oklahoma. Alabama is not winning a single game in the playoffs, because here's the thing. Alabama loves to put themselves behind. They put themselves in these deficit situations where they'll be down by 3, 7, 10, even 14 points, and then try to claw their way back. And they've been able to do that for the majority of the season because of their strength of schedule. But I just don't think that that's going to fly against playoff caliber teams. So Alabama not winning a single game. Now, Tulane, Ole Miss. Tulane is one of those group of 5 schools. I don't think any of the group of 5 schools are going to win. I'm glad that they're in the playoff. Who should and shouldn't be in the playoff is a conversation for a whole nother day. And I'd be glad to have, because I have some rather strong thoughts about how the playoffs should be conducted in the future. Radically different than how they're being conducted now. But, we have what we have, so we're just going to have to roll with it. Texas A&M and Miami. This is going to be a tough one. Miami's a pretty good school. I did watch a few of their games, but I think at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go with Texas A&M, although I think that one actually might be one of the closest games in the first round. So now we have the first round knocked out. Now let's move on to the second round. Here we have Oregon and Texas Tech. Texas Tech had that bye. I'm going to go with Texas Tech. Now, I will say I haven't watched Texas Tech play very much, but I do know that Texas Tech has one of the most expensive rosters in college football. I think actually they have the most expensive roster in college football, which I think definitely accounts for something. In this modern day and age with NIL, it's all about who can get the most players. The monetary value assigned to the players indicates who the free market has determined to be the best players available. So I think that Texas Tech actually might be a little bit underrated, being ranked number 4, considering that they have the most expensive roster in all of college football right now. With Oklahoma and Indiana, I have to go with Indiana. Indiana is just such a strong team, and I'm not going to hate on Oklahoma. They've had a great season, but the way that Indiana really went toe to toe with Ohio State, to be fair, Ohio State didn't play nearly as well as they could have given their personnel, but still it was quite a competitive game. The way that they pulled off that win, I do think that Indiana is going to be one of those teams to beat in the college football playoff. Moving down here to Georgia and Ole Miss. This one might be a close one as well, but I do think that I have to give it to Georgia. Georgia's personnel is pretty good, and I think they might have 1 or 2 matchups that they'll be able to exploit against Ole Miss. For Texas A&M, I think Ohio State should be able to take care of business there with Texas A&M. They lost to Indiana, but I mean, the question is, is Texas A&M a better team than Indiana? I would say certainly not. But also, I think Ohio State is going to learn some of the lessons about what they did wrong that kept them from winning in their game against Indiana. So that will make them perform even better in the playoffs than they did in the regular season, in my opinion. Now, this leaves us with only 4 teams left in the final 4, if you will, of the college football semifinals. There is Texas Tech and Indiana. Now, this might be a controversial take. But I'm going to say, this is because of the strength of the personnel that Texas Tech has. I know that Indiana has Mendoza or whatever, but still, they didn't spend as much on their roster as Texas Tech. And I think that, in an NIL era where it's all about getting the best players, that matters. So I'm gonna go with Texas Tech on this one. Actually, I'm gonna go with Texas Tech on this one. And Ohio State versus Georgia. Georgia's one of two teams I think Ohio State has to be afraid of. Georgia and Indiana. Maybe Texas Tech could beat them. I'm not sure about that, but I do think that Ohio State's gonna pull off the victory. But this one is the type of game that I could even see going to overtime here, to be honest. And I will admit, I'm biased. I'm an Ohio State fan, so maybe that's part of why I think that Ohio State could definitely beat Georgia. So yeah, that's what I'm rolling with. And in this championship game, this is really difficult. I've seen Ohio State play a lot more than Texas Tech. I saw a little bit of Texas Tech, but not as much. And Ohio State has dominated in the games that I have seen, and they've handled business against some very strong opponents. Texas Tech, I haven't seen them play as much. I know that they have the most expensive roster in college football, but I don't know if that is going to be enough to, overpower Ohio State's personnel. I think they're going to come into the playoffs with better play calling as well, which is also going to be a huge factor. You can have great personnel, but not as good coaching. I'm going to lean towards Ohio State winning, but I could go either way on this one, actually. I could go either way on this one. I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on Texas Tech here just so that we can have this with no cachets or anything. So if you look at the challenge, people aren't picking Texas Tech as their top entries. It's Ohio State, Georgia, and Indiana. Texas Tech is down at number 4, but that's only 6% of people are picking Texas Tech. Y'all are sleeping on Texas Tech. When you have personnel that strong and that expensive, I don't know if you can say that they're not gonna, have a lot of success here in these playoffs. And for the tiebreaker, let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna do a little bit of math here. There are 11 games. How many points do you think are going to be scored in each game? That's the real question. I don't know. We could say maybe 20 to 30 points per game. Let's go with, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. Let's go with 25 points per game, because I don't think we're going to have like these crazy high scoring shootouts in the playoffs. I think a lot of these games are going to be low scoring and competitive, except for maybe the group of 5 games. Let's bump it up to maybe 35. So 35 points per game times 11. That's going to be 385. So I'm going to set my tiebreaker to be 385. So I'm not going to take the effort out to go and create an account and all of that. But you can look here. This is my bracket. Hold on, let me see if you guys can see the whole thing. You actually can't. Let me zoom out. This is the bracket. This is my bracket that I've made. I've got Ohio State winning against Texas Tech in the national championship game. And these are my picks. I might make some of y'all mad with these picks. Every time I make a video, it seems to make people mad. But hey, these are my thoughts. These are my opinions. The whole point of this channel and stuff is to share those with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and take these picks. I'm going to send them into my Discord server. If you guys want to share your picks with me, join my Discord server as well. And then we will compare notes at the end of everything. I'm probably going to be in the Discord as well if something notable happens, being like, wow, this surprised me, or wow, this is exactly what I expected to happen. James Madison wins a game. That would be crazy. If Tulane wins a game, that'd be crazy. I don't know if my bracket's going to be perfect, but I've shown it to some friends in real life and they were like, oh yeah, this looks legit. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy watching college football. Very short stream, very quick stream, because all I wanted to do was hop on before the college football season, kind of speak about these things so I could upload it before all of the games begin.